Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Pierce, alongside of my good pal Dylan. Originally, I was like, I kind of want to slowly ease into this because we are going to talk about the Olympics. We're obviously going to talk about Tyler Myers sitting out for trade purposes, and NHL games are back. But we got to start off talking politics. Like, there's no way around it. Um, I'll start with this. So, I remember last year during the Four Nations tournament when Canadians were booing the American national anthem, reporters would go up to players and ask, "What do you think about Canadians booing the American anthem?" And American players would say, "Oh, I don't like that. Don't like them booing our anthem," something to that effect. And we're very proud to be Americans. And now we fast forward a year and the Americans have won gold, which is so awesome on the women's and men's side. Like we're gonna be talking about the men's side a lot. The women's American
Utter
team is one of the most
domination from the
dominant.
women.
Like, what was the scoring ratio they had? Like 33-2,
33 to
and like
2.
perfect penalty kill, and they're basically just disrespected. Oh, I gotta like men there's so much going through my head right now, you could tell, but I'm trying to like slow it down and get to the whole point because there is a lot to unravel here, especially if you haven't been on the internet for the past probably 48 hours. So when the Americans won the gold medal, which they did fair and square, I'm not going to say they're a better team, but who fucking cares? They won gold. That's all that matters. Again, we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of that later. Right after they go into the locker room, have Kash Patel celebrate with them, get a phone call from the president. And I mean, like, the phone call, whatever. To me, it's like it's your birthday and the person you don't really care for calls you. Like, yeah, whatever. You got a call from the president of the United States. I get it. Having Kash Patel, who was apparently there on a business trip, oh, what a coincidence! I'm in where the Olympics are, and now I get to celebrate with the American man. Yo, let's go! Is now in the locker room. You're celebrating with him. He was the one who called Donald Trump to begin with. They're celebrating. Wow, all champagne everywhere with their gold medals. And on the phone, Donald Trump is like, "Oh, I better invite the women so I don't get impeached." And all the people that were saying protect women's sports and keep politics out of sports, like all right there. Like, and that goes back to my original point of you don't know why people are upset about this. I don't think people are upset that the Americans won the gold. I think people are upset why, like, how they're celebrating how they won, like that they won the gold medal. Like people who don't understand why Canadians were booing the American anthem because your president threatened our sovereignty and is trying to annex us. Whereas you go on to this year, why are people mad that Americans, like the American men's team, is going to the White House, going to the State of the Union? It's because of all the shit that's happened in the States. Like, I'll list it off, like ICE killing its own citizens and the Epstein files. Like, I'm not going to go further to that, but that's a part. There was a certain someone on Twitter that tweeted out, if you can't celebrate this gold medal like the Americans winning, then you're on the wrong side of things, period. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem, again, like it just goes to how this is being celebrated. And I'm not American. I don't want to pretend and act like I know everything that is going on with the States. This is just an outside perspective from a Canadian. And honestly, like there's been plenty enough Americans who pretend like they know anything about Canada and hockey these last couple weeks. Like, I wish we could talk about the dominance of the women's team, how the men's team. Well, we are going to talk about it, but I think it's important context to bring all of this up right now. And again, thoughts are racing through my head. I'm trying to think, but I can't quite get the words out. But like I want to talk about how dominant these teams are, but we can't just ignore all this stuff and be business as usual. Like, sports are always going to be political. There's nothing you can do about that. Go back to 1936 in Germany when Jesse Owens won a bunch of gold medals there in front of a government that thought the Aryan race was superior. Go to Jackie Robinson. Like, you can go on and on. But yeah, I wish we could just talk about this game without having to bring this up, because like Americans won that gold fair and square, won their first gold medal in 46 years for the men's side. The women's just dominant. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. I want you to speak. I don't know how much you want to spend on this, but yeah, it's been frustrating and it's overstimulating having to read all this on the internet right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I there's not much else to say. I mean, this situation has gone from what should be what I talked about on the last show, which is a culmination of 20 years of development of U.S. hockey, both on the men's and the women's side. And it just kind of got encapsulated in a politically charged environment like it always does. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. And like, there's no reason for them to be there last night. There's no reason. Like, just the reality of the situation. And I don't think there's a need to defend it like some people are. I don't think that's necessary. I think there's a clear showing of why this makes little sense at the time. Like I don't know. Like, I get going to the White House to an extent, but the whole about getting the what is it, the salute of freedom or whatever the hell he got. Like, I don't even.
Yeah, presidential medal of
It's all
freedom.
just a
Yeah.
blur the last 72 hours, and it's really unfortunate because it's taking away from the on ice products, and that's really where my focus was at for just the longest time in this series. And from what went from a moment to just kind of look back, it's just I don't know. I don't for a moment that should have brought people together, it just tore them apart more, and it sucks. It sucks, and like. I didn't tear everyone apart, obviously. Like, there are people who can put two things aside, but not everyone can. Like we said, like you said earlier, you can't ever know what anyone's going through. You can't know what anyone's thinking. I'm not going to tell people how to think. It's very unfortunate. It was a very avoidable situation. Like you said, I don't know why the FBI director is in the locker room. I don't know why he's like it's just the whole situation. And there's people that are just it's led to some obvious backlash towards the players, and rightfully so. And I it's a hard situation. I'm not going to defend them, but I will say, you get around a bunch of drunk rich white dudes and you drop the president in the room, you're not going to get the situation you probably want every time. Let's just put it that way. You're not going to get people thinking clearly. And, now you got to eat it. Now you got to eat it. And I don't think a lot of them care. And that is what it is. The ones that do. Even the ones that do, they have to, defend themselves in some crazy way. And it's just, this shouldn't have been something that should be talked about in the middle of the season. Be one thing if this happened in the off season. If this happened like June, and they went to the White House and stuff, it'd be like, okay, whatever. Like, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. I can't help but think a snowstorm has directly caused half of this. Like, they would have all been back on Monday. They would have all went back home, but they all got stuck in Miami an extra night and partied, and now we're where we are. So. And honestly, good on the players. Like, I love seeing them all celebrate. And also, just going to be blunt. Like, if you are genuinely shocked that they're celebrating at a strip club, like,
That was
I
another thing I
do
wanted
not
to
know what to
say.
tell you. This
Yeah.
has been going on for decades. It's just now getting recorded because the Panthers don't give a fuck. That's just how it works. Like, go look up any of the war stories from those Blackhawk teams. Go look up any of the wars. Like, I talk to you all about it all the time. The Kyprios, like him talking about the Rangers partying after 94. Like, this is always a thing, but it is completely different because it's midseason. That's just what it is. Like, I want to go back and watch the tape tonight. I'm curious how like Matthews and Hughes and all these guys that have to play tonight. I know the Vegas guys aren't playing, but it's just all bizarre. It's all so bizarre. It's all so bizarre.
Yeah, it's their right to go to the White House, but it's also our right to criticize them. And I just, again, going back to the women's team, had such a dominant tournament. Just feels like they are now being used in a punchline. Oh, gotta bring those darn women over to the White House, or I'm gonna lose my job. And not even one American player has said sorry. I think the closest we've gotten to Jeremy Swam, and I'm just going off the top of my head, I think I'm paraphrasing it, and he's like, "Yeah, we probably should have, like, I wish that gone differently," something to that effect. But like, just a simple sorry would suffice. The fact that they're not going to apologize for their actions, but the fact there's been no sorry for that is just. The original point I wanted to say before I started like rambling on was that this Canada USA is the best rivalry in hockey. You could argue sports right now, whether it's the men's or the women's, whenever they get together, this is the kind of game you get. And I wish the right people were watching this game. And a lot of Americans were, who can get into hockey and maybe find an NHL team you can love, but unfortunately that's now going to be overshadowed by um the maggots on Twitter that are like, this is what you get for for booing our anthem, and now you're going to be the 51st state. I think that was my biggest problem, is that this was such, and in vacuum, it was such a great game, such a great rivalry, that we this should be like, there's a lot of people that could become hockey fans because of it, but now it's going to fall into the hands of people who are probably going to forget about it in a couple weeks, was the main point I wanted to make.
I don't know. I think the right people got the right message. That's all I'm going to say. You can't tell a 5-year-old how to think when he sees that. That's just plain and simple. The 5-year-old that wants to go play hockey now, that's all that fucking matters, in my opinion. I could give less of a fuck about anyone 18 or above and what they're doing. The whole reason of winning a gold medal is to inspire that next generation. And that's my biggest concern. And, you know, I'm just glad the 7-year-old that got to watch that doesn't have to deal with the politically charged aftermath of what has occurred. He'll learn about it when he grows up, or she, in that for that matter. I'm just hoping that I think it's going to lead to an uptick, at least in the sport here, more than it already was. Like, there's already such big upticks in LA and Nashville. And, I was just talking about it in Tampa, the amount of rinks that have opened up here in the last decade. And it's just like the growth's there, and it's going to start coming from different areas. Like, don't be surprised when Carolina's got a nice market here in about 5 years in terms of youth hockey. Hopefully it doesn't all get privatized by then. I feel like that's my biggest concern with the growth of the game. I know Canada, that's a big concern too. It's just the privatization of youth hockey. But, games like these, it's going to motivate. I hope it motivates U.S. kids to pick up a stick, and I know it's going to motivate Canadian kids to want to pick up a stick. So I try to find the silver lining in this at the end of the day. And I just know the younger generation, that was such a huge moment for. But, anyone with that can spew their opinion into the void. It's been pretty dark.
Yeah. There's a tweet from Craig Custance. This is from January 24th, 2011. I don't know if you've seen this.
Mm-mm.
Look out, 2026 Olympics. Retweet US hockey. USA hockey's 8 and under membership has reached 100,000 for the first time ever.
I did see that tweet. Yeah. And like, I do want to like get into that whenever we want to like shift towards the on ice. I know
We'll shift now. I think we've
Okay.
said, like, if you've been listening to the show long enough, you know our stats. And not that we're trying to go away from it, but like,
We're never gone away from it. We started this during the worst time to cover
mhm,
Blackhawks hockey. Like, we're never been afraid to not talk about this stuff.
yeah.
It's just, it's really a shame that it has to take the forefront. And it does. It does have to take the forefront. It's just, like I said, we're in bizarro world right now. That's just how it feels.
But like, hopefully we're done with all these kind of reactions, and like you said, like, we can move on to the positives that have come from this. And yeah, I think that's a great way to, that's probably the best a way we can transition to the Olympic tournament. Do you want to talk about, like, what do you want to talk about first, the men's or the women's? Because again,
I think
Even
we should talk about
though,
the women.
yeah.
Um, I actually want to start with Canada because I have some thoughts about the way
Oh,
they
let's hear it.
deployed their ice or
Oh,
deployed their women with ice time. And, they have some really good young talent coming up, but I just don't like. I get it. Like this is just a thing with hockey. Tie goes to the veteran. Like we talk about this all the time, the Babcock joke. But at
or
some
Jake
point,
Smith.
father time catches up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Or mother time in this case.
mother time, yeah. And sometimes girl boss can't bail you out every time. Sometimes MVP is mortal, and you have to have someone else step up to the plate. And I think it just speaks to Canada's hockey the last 20 years. Like the fact that you can go from a Wickenheiser to a MVP to, in my opinion, I think Sarah Fillier is the future of that team.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
there's gonna be a centerpiece there every time. It's just curious to see how they build up the rest of their program because I'm like I said, I'm curious what you think because I know some people are like out on the coach. I want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, it's definitely the coaching, and yeah, the USA was so far and above the best team out of the women's. I just want to read off some stats here. They played 7 games. They were 7-0, 33 goals for, 2 goals against, which is a plus 31 goal differential, 2 wins over Canada, including the gold medal game. Like, just again, pure dominance. One could be pessimistic about Canada and its development and the coaches, but a positive person could be like, okay, we barely had our best team. Our best player was clearly injured, and we still took a generational great team to overtime of the gold medal game. If we got one more goal, we would have won. But again, I don't want to keep going through the shoulda, woulda, coulda. You lost. You got to eat that. You got to figure out a way to regroup for 2030. And you just got to find a way, I think, to implement more younger players. I don't know if Mary Philippe Poulin is going to be there in 2030. I hope she is. I think she'll be 38. So I'd say, like, there's so many parallels between this women's team and the men's team. Like, I think there's going to be a passing of the guard, and we've kind of already seen it. But yeah, I think you just need to bring a younger team because the problem again with both sides with the women's and men's is not their ability to develop high end talent. Like, that's not the problem. You got to find more talent behind that. So like, there's some young players. I think her name Chloe Primarino. I think that's her name. That could be a person that's at the Olympics in 2030. She's still very young. There's probably still lots of young women's hockey players that can make Team Canada. And same goes to the US, man. Like, Carolyn Harvey, I was looking at, she's only 23 years old. She was so dominant. She's going to be back for that next tournament and easily going to be the US's top defense women, men, whatever. um yeah, but like, I don't know, like, cause I don't want to speak too much. Like, I don't know who's going to be coming through the Canadian women's pipeline. I'd be interested to hear from like other people what that would be. But yeah, you just gotta regroup, play the young players, bring some more youth, bring some more speed, because the US just clearly had them outmatched in that.
And I think I sent something to you a couple days ago about this. It just shows like the development, like I go back to it, it's just the development of the sport in the States. I mean, like I think the stat was like 120 out of like 220 players in the tournament came out of like either college or the development program or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about all the time. It speaks to where the competition level goes. And the U.S. is in. You lose Hillary Knight, who ends up going out with the most
Awesome that
goals
she got the
ever
game tying goal and got the, like, that's truly awesome. That's
from
about as
Layla
good as a way
Edwards
you
too.
can go
Like
out.
it's you can't
Yeah.
write it better
That's
than
like,
that.
again, these are things we should be talking about. Hillary Knight going out on top as a gold medalist, and then Layla Edwards, the first black American women's hockey player to win gold. That is so awesome.
Yeah, and you have Megan Keller pulling off one of the craziest moves on like a golden goal I think that's ever been done. If we're being honest, like in terms of like the
Unfortunately, it
stakes
was
of the
so
moment,
good.
like
Yeah.
it's one of the best goals you're ever going to see for a golden goal. And the best, and you just look at the last core for that team, and it was Knight and Schofield and or Coin Schofield and um, Carpenter and all these girls, and they got a new generation coming in fast, led by Taylor Heisey, and it's almost like it's not even a change of the guard. It's just reloading every year, and they still got some demons in college. I think Layla Edwards is still in college, or she's going back to Minnesota. So like that, 21, 22 years old
So is
there.
Carolyn Harvey. Yeah, I don't know if
Hmm.
she like, and that's the cool thing now. Like the Olympic, like women's hockey, it's now not just done. Oh, see you in 4 years.
PWHL is going on
These,
right now
yeah,
on YouTube. Go watch.
mm-hmm.
So good. I need Chicago to get a team ASAP. I'm getting real tired of it.
Oh, yeah.
I got to be a New York fan just to support Philly. It's BS. But yeah, like it's just U.S. hockey's in such a good spot, and even though we're losing the best at that, at least in the U.S. history, in Hillary Knight, the future is so bright. And this rivalry, like you said, with all the improvements, it's still a 1 goal game, and I think it just speaks to that rivalry between U.S. and Canada, specifically for the women. It's been this close since what 2018. Like it's every
Dude,
time
I
they've
would
played in the
argue
last
before
decade.
that
Yeah,
20.
it's
I think
always been U.S. Canada.
if I'm going off memory from all the times they played, 98, I think it was 3-1 US. 2002 was 3-2 Canada. 2010 was 2-0 Canada. 2014 overtime game 3-2 Canada. 2018 3-2 US shootout. 2022 3-2 Canada, and then this year 2-1 USA. Like at the worst, it's been a 2-goal game. Like no one has scored more than 3 goals. What 3 of them have gone to overtime and beyond. Yeah, it's such a great rivalry, and no matter what, those games are always going to be close and must see TV.
They always deliver. They always deliver, and you know it's a blessing to be able to see such a good era or such a renaissance in the sport in the last. Like that's why I speak primarily in the last decade because I mean hell we can go even 5 years ago. Like the idea of the PWHL having this much success early on was foreign at the time.
Yeah.
It just was. And there's so much talent getting pumped into that league now, and they're continuously expanding and they're continuously growing. And eventually they're going to get hopefully a rights deal to get streaming. You know what I mean? Outside of YouTube, maybe they get on ESPN or something like how the NHL is. Just unlimited room for growth, and the game couldn't be brighter with the young talent that U.S. and Canada have coming in.
And also shout out to the American goalie Aaron Frankel, 5-0,
Go,
980 save percentage,
go,
and an 039 goals against average. Like just
Frankie.
unreal. Yeah. Also, congratulations to Switzerland on the bronze medal. Um, Before the 2022 Olympics, remember when we interviewed Florence Schelling? She was part of the 2014 Swiss team that won bronze, and on that team was a 16-year-old Alina Moller, who's one of the best women's hockey players out there. She scored the overtime winner against Sweden, the same as in 2014. I think she had the game winner in 2014 as well, but now this time she gets the bronze medal overtime goal to get Switzerland another medal. So shout out to Switzerland as well. Um, I don't know if you have any more to add to the women's side of things. We can move on to the men's end of things. But we had I can't. I'm not even
Go
mad
watch the
about the women.
PWHL.
Mm-hmm. It's
Support
so.
them, please.
What do we talk about the NHL? And we
Go
said so many
Sirens.
times on the podcast. It's so accessible. Like you can just watch it for free on YouTube.
Yeah. Go watch Toronto play Boston in that or Ottawa and Minnesota. Like go watch Taylor Heisey. She's so sick.
Yeah, she is. um yeah, let's go into the men's side of things. To me, just like to me it was almost like an opposite of last year at the Four Nations tournament. I thought the US was the better team in that game, but all it took was one play for Canada to win in overtime. And this year at the Olympics, Canada was clearly the better team. Looking at all the shots and oh my god, all the crazy opportunities they got, and one breakdown in overtime, and you lose, and that's it. Like in a vacuum, that's just two of the best teams going at it, and that's all it comes down to is one mistake or one play, and you made good on it.
Shows how close they are. And I think we've talked about this for years. This is why we beg for them to go to the Olympics and make best on best hockey a thing again, because the talent's never been better. It's just never been better on both sides. And you could argue, 80-17 for Canada, obviously. Gretzky and Lemieux, whatever. High-end talent, it doesn't get better than Canada had it, I felt, this year. Same with the U.S. I mean, you had superstars across the board, so much to the point that a guy like Zach Werenski only played 12 minutes in the gold medal game.
That's like fucking crazy. I didn't even know that.
Dude, it's nuts. Oh. Like, so the ice is just oozing talent. I had someone ask if like this game is going to be a letdown, and then I just told him flat out there was not a doubt in my mind that this game was going to be a bad hockey game. There was never going to be a bad hockey game. It was never going to happen. There's too much talent on the ice. There's too much at stake. And if we're being honest, the U.S. played with more pressure. They were playing with tighter sticks. The pressure clearly was showing for Team USA at one point for like a good 30-minute chunk of that game in the middle. Because the pressure is on. I talked about it the last time we recorded. Like, if they didn't win this year, fuck, man, it's going to be a really hard look in the mirror the next 4 years, especially with the amount of talent they had compiled. And, we could talk about how, Sidney Crosby and Josh Morrissey were out of the gold medal game this year. U.S. should have looked at their team and said, we didn't have Hughes or McAvoy last year. They're a different team. And they were. Hughes and McAvoy played half the game. That's just the reality of the situation. And Hughes was out of this fucking world. McAvoy, I've always been a McAvoy truther. Guy showed on the biggest stage ever why I want this guy to win a Norris Trophy. Oh my God. Like, just putting his body on the line every shift. I had so much fun watching that defense. It's just each one of them had their own strength. And it's just so satisfying to watch 7 horses, because it was 7. They played Hannafin and Sanderson just as much. And just to see that in front of Hellbuck, and people wonder, how was Connor Hellbuck so successful? He was
up. No, like you can't say anything about him now.
Yeah.
Like,
do not ever tell me Connor Hellbuck's not a winner.
Ever. Yeah,
it's the greatest goalie performance I've ever seen in my life for a game. I'll say it. I'll die on the hill. I really don't care. Like, you look at the chances Canada had in that game. They had a minute and a half, 5-on-3. The paddle save on Taves is fucking unbelievable. The more I watch it, the more my brain melts, because I just don't understand how you even they even have the instinct to say, I can get that with my paddle. Hold on. Like, let me reach behind my back and get it, basically. Or like, just put it in the loop. It's fucking incredible. I needed a portrait of it. It's so good.
Say, the American should have that like framed and in their man cave.
I want it. it. But they, like I said, like you watch the first shift of the game and the U.S. just come out swinging, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, they're coming to play today. In the first 10 minutes of the game, I kind of thought that. I was like, okay, Boldy gets the goal, splits through Makar and Taves. Incredible goal. He just splits the 2 best defensemen in the world. Doesn't get talked about enough. Matthews is the one who sets it up on the back check in his defensive zone, just kicks it out right to Boldy, and Boldy's off to the races. I'm going to get I want to have my own segment on Matthews, because I cannot believe some of the shit that's come out of this tournament talked about him, given the defensive performance he had in these Olympics. Like, we always knew he was a good 2-way center, but holy fucking shit, out of this world in the matchup performance this year. But then Canada gets those 2 penalties, and U.S. never gains the momentum back. I think they had it for like maybe 2 shifts in the third. Like, when Tage had that chance in the net front, like, that was about it. And then, they weather the storm. I felt like, and I think you and I talked about this last night, Canada was just pumping pucks with their defensemen onto the net. It was just, let's move it in deep. Let's get it up high. Let's go for a rebound. Hellbuck's not letting any good second chances up. And then Sam Bennett whacks Jack Hughes in the mouth. And I just know Everyone in Canada just got enraged when that happened. And I'm sitting there like, holy crap. Because we're sitting there the whole game. Like, after they didn't call the too many men on the ice on US, I was like,
Oh, brutal.
either the puck's got to
Awful.
go over the glass or someone's got to be bleeding. There's no way they're
Yeah.
calling anything. And Hughes is obviously tooth out. They call 4. Power play can't get anything going. Power play didn't look good that whole game. I thought Eichel was just a ghost of himself that game, and that really showed on the power play because when Eichel's going on that power play specifically, it really opens everything up. And then Hughes takes the penalty to make it 4-on-4, and I think every American in their mind just goes, "Well, all right, who's going to get it?" And this is
Frank
after
Fleming losing
Hellebuck.
it.
Yeah, after Hellebuck's robbed Celebrini on a breakaway, after he robbed McDavid on a breakaway, after McDavid like ran out of space, basically. They kill it off, penalty kill, 17-17. I think the whole tournament. I have formally apologized to JT Miller and Vincent Trocheck. They played a phenomenal role for what they were meant to do. Trocheck basically played a face-off
Good
role
job.
in that entire game and did his job to a T. Caps off to them. I didn't expect that out of them. I didn't expect them to have this sound of a penalty kill. Knew the defenseman would play up. Like Jacob Slavin specifically, I thought played fantastic on those penalty kills. But tip of the cap, penalty kill came to play, especially in the gold medal game. I felt like Canada really couldn't get set up on that 5-on-3, at least in the way that you probably wanted to get set up.
Nope.
I think I talked to you about it. If Crosby's there, I think they get set up a little better. But, like you said earlier, ifs and buts.
If some butts were candy and nuts, I would have a whole house of them.
And then you get to overtime. And I'll just be blunt. I looked at Nick and I just said, we're done. There's no fucking way Canada sends out the 3 best players in the world and this shit doesn't end in 3 minutes. And it ended in 3 minutes. And
Except they all tried to play hero ball and not try to win the game.
Every kid wanted the McDavid moment on the ice. Or not the McDavid moment, the Crosby moment. It's just the reality. Yep. And it sucks. Makar makes the pinch. Borensky weight rooms McKinnon, which I thought was the most underrated play of that whole sequence. That does not get talked about enough. McKinnon just gets ragdolled off the puck.
In Canada, trust me, it's been talked about.
I know it's getting talked about in Canada. McKinnon's wearing the go horns right now. Not a doubt in my mind. But Jack Hughes, the guy who gets his tooth chipped, the guy who was like, I was joking, I wish he had like a Fitbit on or something so I could see his heart rate for the last 5 minutes of that game in the overtime, just to get hit in the mouth, draw the penalty, think you're going to be the guy that's wearing the goat horns, to being in the penthouse, having the golden goal. Immortal.
You're immortalized an American.
He is the golden boy. That's what he is. Like, that is your legacy moment. It's Hellebuck's legacy moment, and it's his legacy moment. It does, like, all due respect, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do with the Devils for the rest of your career. Everyone in the United States, at least, is going to know that you're the fucking golden kid. You're the golden boy. You got the golden goal against Canada. And no one's going to forget that. And no one's going to forget the tournament he had. Like, once the elimination round started, Jack Hughes was their best forward. Plain and simple. At least offensively. Turned it on when it mattered. Shout out Dylan Larkin, too. I thought he was one of the guys that really turned it on when no one else wanted to step up.
Mm-hmm.
And U.S. comes away with a improbable victory, to say the least. If you talk to me at the end of every period, you would have got a different opinion each time. And I can confidently say, before everything that happened afterwards, it was the most fun I've had watching a hockey game since 2015. Easily. Maybe even more than some of those cups. It was just, it meant that, at least to me, it meant that much. Because I know how talented this program is, and I know the ebbs and flows that they've gone through, and I know the development that the turns in development that this program took, especially in the last 10 years. And, I know people say some people are taking it as it's just one way to get some more empathy out of a win, but like Johnny Gaudreau would have been there. He would have been there. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. He was one of the first guys that was going to be on the 2022 team if they went. I thought all that was great. The parents originally didn't want to go. They went because Obviously, the quote's out there about how Johnny wanted to be at the Olympics. That was like one of the last things he said that summer. And the guys knew it. Like Browensky, Larkin, Kachuk, all have history with him. So that was like, it was, I got a little teary eyed when I saw that. Just, it was the whole encapsulation moment. And, for a short time, like a couple hours, it was one of the best moments that I've ever gotten to have as a hockey fan. So that's my whole gold medal experience. I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but
No,
I was very proud. I was very, very proud of this team. Very proud of this team. And it felt like it. So every night, someone different was the hero. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of those runs.
Both the Hughes brothers with the biggest goals of the tournament. It's too perfect.
And Larkin steps up in the semis. You got Matthews stepping up at the end of the group stage. And I'm going to take this time to go into it. I'm so happy for Austin Matthews. And I know, I'm not, we don't need to get back into it, but it's just like he's done a lot to fuck up his image in the last 2 days. But I've been in this guy's corner day one when he went to Zurich and chose that over, going to college or something of that nature. And I've followed this guy's whole career, all the ups, all the injuries, all the heartbreaks. And to hear some of the stuff that this guy gets on a weekly basis, like the fact that the conversation Monday was if Matthews doesn't play Wednesday, this is all a failure, and not about the fact that this guy captained the team to won a championship. And not only that, I'm going to say it, he basically played the Jonathan Taves role on the team. He was the shutdown guy. He played the assignments, and McDavid may have had a million chances, but he stayed off the score sheet in the game that mattered most.
All that matters.
And I credit that to Matthews. I think that gold medal game, he had at least 5 back checks where I couldn't believe the defensive effort he was putting in. And the chemistry he had with Boldy is incredible. Like he's so much fun to watch. I'm so happy to see him win. And I hope I want to see him win a cup, but it's nice to know that at least at some point in his career, he's known as a winner, because I don't think I could have stomached one of the best goal scorers we've ever had the grace of seeing be viewed as a loser. And like anyone viewing Connor McDavid as a loser can blow it out your ass. Like, I'm just not going to hear that conversation either. Also, Connor Hellebuyck should have won the MVP. Really don't care. The fact that you watch that game and give it to McDavid still is ridiculous, but I get it.
I think it's more dumb. They do the voting after the first period of that game.
That's ridiculous.
It takes a little more time because they're on a time crunch, but give some more time, because as amazing as McDavid did, Hellebuyck off that game alone
stole it.
I don't care.
He stole it.
Yeah.
He stole it. And that's another guy.
But
he's
got the gold medal. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And I think I said it to you. If you're a Canadian Jets fan, you're probably pissed off at the world right now, because it's just what the fuck? Can you just do this one time? And I think I told you last night, I was like, has he ever had a defense like that in front of him? Ever.
And then I said,
what an MVP with Dylan DeMello playing top 4 minutes. I can't. And thank God for Connor Hellebuyck. He's had the best last 12 months a goalie I think's ever had. Outside of maybe Carey Price when he won the gold, the MVP. Carey Price is the only one that ever had that kind of 12-month span. Yeah, just like Hellebuyck. Puts him in an elite company. That's all I was just trying to say. But you can never call him a loser.
If that was ever a Dell before.
One of the best goalies of the Cap era.
He might be one of the best goalies ever.
He's the best of the States. That's for sure. Solidified that tonight or Sunday. Not a doubt in my mind now. The fact that Swayman even got a game in this tournament is ridiculous in hindsight. Holy shit.
There were people not sure that Hellebuyck should have started the tournament. That looking back on that is insane.
And I'll be the first to say it. I was like, well, let Hellebuyck play the round robin. Let's see where he is. If he's looking how he was in the 4 Nations, we're gonna have a conversation. Never looked like that even for a second. There was never a waiver of doubt in my mind with Connor Hellebuyck for a second in this series. One of the best. Now I know how you feel when you got to watch Carey Price just be a wall for an entire Olympics. It's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling. Good safety blanket. It's like a weighted blanket. It's nice.
I know people that are Oilers fans in the last and like less than 2 calendar years that have watched the Oilers lose back-to-back Cup finals, the Jays losing in the World Series, and then now this. It's tough. Like
So
saying
if you're,
Winnipeg Jets fan,
I was gonna
but
say, if
yeah.
you're an Oiler fan, how can you just like not despise Matty Tkachuk at this point? And Matty Tkachuk was still hurt in this Olympics. He wasn't half the player he normally is, but crazy run he's on too. 2 cups, gold medal, beat McDavid 3 straight times. It's fucking crazy. Like
And
ultimate.
unfortunately, like one of the great all-time like always the bridesmaid. Like
Oh, he's a great villain. Like there's just you can't top it. I don't know if you saw the shirt he was wearing at 11 or Boldy was wearing at 11. Did you see that?
what
He
was
had a
it?
shirt. It was just it was like a shirt of Kachuk, and it just says all he does is win, and it shows all the shit he's won, and it includes the gold medal. So I don't. His team was PR team was on top of that apparently, but there's
Yeah,
another
I
guy who was
wouldn't
just
say it.
literally chilling at elbow room today, just chugging beers at like 10 o'clock. So must be nice being back to back champs and not knowing that they're gonna probably punt the season away here pretty soon. So
Yeah, I
um still mad about that
from
pick. People don't forget.
from I don't know if you have any more on the American side because I do want to get into the Canadian end of
Oh,
it.
I'm ready to hear the Canadian side. One last thing I do want to mention is I'm very curious to see what this team looks like in 2030. Just
The
because, like,
states, the states are going to be perfectly fine. I'm not worried about
I'm
that.
just
Like
curious who gets there this time. You know what I mean? Because like, there's going to be your Will Smiths, there's going to be your Lane Hudsons, like
Cooley,
Logan Cooley's. Like, there's going to be some interesting names to choose from. Like, could say the same for Canada with like Genther and Bedard and Will Johnston and McKenna and all these guys. So we're getting to
Schaefer,
Canada now.
Bouchard. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers, bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through money apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Oh, I was talking forwards. We can get into defense too.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of defense, the floor is yours. Canada, take us through it.
Kind of like I said off the top, like objectively in a vacuum, I'm not really that like upset that Canadians lost. I said this from
They played a great
I
team.
like I don't want to be if man, but 99 times out of 100 Canada wins that game. And what did Herberg say? Like this is not
Not
those 9
that
times.
game.
Yeah,
Not
it's not that
tonight.
game. And that's what happened. And like Americans should be excited. 46 years. That's almost as long as the Hawks Cup drought. Now, like I get it, it's different. The Olympics are only every 4 years, and there's limited opportunities. And for a while, couldn't even bring NHL players over. But that is grounds to celebrate. I was alive in 2002, but I don't remember it at all. The Canadians went 50 years without winning a gold medal. Like that's crazy. That was ever a thing. They won 2002, they won in 2010, and then they won in 2014. Like I'm fine. I am personally fine. Like yeah, you want to see the Canadians, you want to see your team win every single time, but it's not possible. Like as Canadians, there's also a lot of loser posting here. Like just we've had enough sweets, we've had enough desserts. Like let's have our Brussels sprouts for now, and we'll move on to 2030 and make a better team. Like I said with the women's end of things, I don't think the Canadians brought their best team, and they pushed the US, who in my mind was the most deep and complete team of this tournament, to an overtime. And again, play this game 100 times, they probably win 99 out of that. And to me, my biggest problem was they were a one-line team. Yeah, it sucks that Crosby got injured, but this is Team Canada we're talking about. I wanted to like just be done with the Bedard conversation, but they 100% could have used Connor Bedard. I know, like, and it's strictly a Doug Armstrong thing, because I have no doubt in my mind if Bedard was there, Cooper would be he would be in the horses with McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrini. Like, he would be playing that much. He would be playing over 20 minutes a game. I have no doubt in my mind. And he's going to be there in 2030, and he's going to be one of the main parts. They were a one-line team. After Crosby went down, they loaded up Celebrini, McDavid, and McKinnon. And when you're playing a States defense that has the horses that they have on the back end, and you don't have the depth like the US has, like, you talk about Matthews, he was put in a defensive role, trying to neutralize Canada's top guys. Eichel was kind of invisible. That's perfect for a guy like Jack Hughes to step in and score, and I just don't think Canada had that level of player. And again, that could have been a Connor Bedard. That could have even been a Wyatt Johnston. Like, fuck, I'm surprised Zach Hyman didn't get more consideration. Like, have you seen the goal-scoring pace he has been on since he got back? I'm really surprised there wasn't more about that. Yeah, and like, people would have said Chris Kunitz, and you know what, fine, but I think Zach Hyman is better than Chris Kunitz ever was. Like, this guy scored 50-something goals a couple of years ago.
Call me crazy, but like, you just run a line of him, McDavid, and Marner, and those two have immense chemistry with Hyman. So they just pick up right where they left off. That's your top line.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, you put Celebrini with McKinnon. Oh. You know what I mean? Like, oh no. Also, Macklin Celebrini, superstar. Like, not like he was already a superstar, but like through the stratosphere. It's unbelievable.
He cemented himself like as one of the best players in the world, and he's not even 20 yet.
Backed up every bit of him being like third in the league in scoring. I think he, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he led Canada in shots in the tournament, because he was just firing shit from all over the
shots, like inner slot. Like, I'm pretty sure, I think it was Dmitry Filipovich who was tracking all of like those kind of stats with Jay Fresh, and every time Macklin Celebrini was right at the top in ice time. Like, there's a reason.
So good.
And he led the tournament in goals, I'm pretty sure, with 5. And I argue he could have had at least 2 more. Like, he was snake bitten those
in the gold medal games,
which is crazy to say. Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy because it's just like, you could tell how quick he gained John Cooper's trust. Right, when those games mattered and they needed a goal, like, what was it, the Czech year or the Finland game that he and McDavid each played 25 minutes? Like,
I think it was both.
Exactly. Like, it showed the trust Cooper had in the rest of the team, which I think speaks to, like you said, Doug Armstrong, because if your coach doesn't trust the players you picked, I think that speaks a lot more to the GM than the coach. Like, credit to Team USA, like, the way they constructed the roster worked. They had a play driver on every line, whether it was Matthews, Eichel, Hughes, Larkin. Like, they had someone there that could move that puck. I feel like Canada, it was like everyone had their assignment. And if you didn't work, well, we're not going to change. So
I think that was what, like, Mike Sullivan and Bill Guavin were like more in harmony than Doug Armstrong and John Cooper. That's what I get.
100%. And like, people will now point the finger at Cooper when I think you should be pointing the finger at Armstrong in this. No, this is Armstrong. This isn't Cooper. Office. Yeah, blame the 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Sure.
Like, get away from my team. Get away. Actually, no, stay with the Blues and make them worse, but stay away from
Please do.
I don't know.
Stay away from Gavin McKenna.
I don't know who would succeed Doug Armstrong, but all I know is it should not be him next time. And I don't think it will be. I think he's done.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Who's like a Canadian? Would it be Kyle Dubas?
I was going to say Kyle Davidson. It could be Kyle Dubas. Like, because Davidson hasn't done enough wins.
2 KDs in the box. I think I think like the average Canadian fan might lose their mind if that
Oh yeah.
happens. You got two
Um
nerds in the box.
yeah, Tom from Barrie would be losing his shit right now. Like
Hey, Tom and Barry, how you feeling today? Well, let me tell you, this is ridiculous.
oh, he's yelling racial slurs. We gotta hang up the phone now.
Oh, that's enough from Tom from Barry.
That's enough from
Okay.
him. All right, next caller. Yeah.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
yeah, that would be like Artem. Like that's Hawks fans with Artem Levshunov right now. Like, it's like Kyle Davidson and Kyle Dumas building Team Canada. But I would have no doubt in my mind they would build a better team than
Would have had Bedard.
I know
Would
that
have had
much.
Wyatt Johnston. Would have had Matthew Schaefer. Would have had Evan Bouchard. Probably would have had Zach Hyman if Dubas is the GM.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, there's so like clearly four great players, like I said, and it was McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrity, and McCarr. Um, like I'm just trying to go through the forwards. It's bad that I have to go in the forwards in my mind because I was so let down by
Hagel
the
was a
Panthers
ghost.
forwards.
Reinhart was a
Hagel was
ghost.
invisible. Reinhardt's easily the most disappointing one. Like there's no way there's not an injury there. Like I'm just thinking of the Panthers guys. Like all of them are not at 100% clearly, but incredibly disappointing performance from those three.
And someone said it
And
best too.
Hagel.
I think it was Jeff O'Neill. He was just like, when Crosby goes down, you want to have a center as your extra, not a winger. Like nothing against Seth Jarvis, but like
I like Seth
Crosby goes down,
Jarvis.
there was a huge hole down the middle, which should never be the case with Canada with the amount of centers that they have that
Never,
are
ever,
top
never,
level.
ever,
And
ever, ever.
I don't know what that says about Reinhart that he couldn't fill one of those center spots, but maybe he like Cooper just doesn't, maybe Cooper just sees him as a power play specialist. I don't know. But
Yeah, he was.
yeah,
That's all he was.
serious.
He wasn't even good
There's
at
got
that.
to, and someone said it, like I think you said it and someone else said it too. It's just like if they win the game, like I don't know if they change the roster again. Like we talked about this. Like they had complacency from the Four Nations. That's just the reality.
100%.
Which they shouldn't have. That's ridiculous. Like you saw that the U.S. didn't have their top pair in the Four Nations, and you squeaked out because of Jordan Binnington. Granted, this time we squeaked out because of Connor Hellebuyck, but that's hockey, literally.
That's how it goes.
Shocker.
I believe Jeff Merrick says we should rename hockey to goalie because usually that's what decides the outcome of the game.
Yeah, he's not wrong. And it's going to be fun because 2028, I think there's going to be some significant changes to both sides, whether that's out because of age or whether that's because of coaching decisions. Or I'm very curious to see how these two teams look in 2 years because it's a pretty quick turnaround when you think about it. Like 18 months, you're looking at 20-year-old Matthew Schaefer on your top pair potentially. It's pretty good. With Drew Doughty at 42.
Yay, get excited. And then Colt Parayko with his Cody Ceci moment.
Oh, Maron. Oh, no.
We were talking about it on Xbox either yesterday or the other day. I can't remember which day, but I think there was a reason why Colton Parayko was getting like that Canadian defense was getting so many looks. Let's just box the inside and let their defensemen shoot. It's like we're going to pitch around all the good hitters to get to the bad one. Maybe we can turn a double play because he's so slow and hits like like stuff like that. There,
you're right, and it would have helped to have another puck mover or two back there. That's just the reality. Even if I just think if Evan Bouchard's on this team as opposed to Drew Doughty, they probably win that game.
They probably win.
Because the amount of point shots they get, Bush is getting one of those. Like, I don't know. And it just shows that the way different teams construct their rosters. Like, I know they wanted a more well-rounded defense, and to their credit, they played the way they wanted to play the whole tournament, I thought at least. They play with control, they play with speed, and that's how Canada should be playing with the amount of speed they have on their roster. It's just, like you said, I'm very curious to see. Like, I know the defenseman is the big story coming out of it, but I'm very curious to see how those forward lines look in 2 years. Because outside of that top line, everything's getting changed. Everything's getting changed. Like for Team USA, I think it's just you got to figure out that third line. But Canada.
Oh no, we gotta figure out the third.
I know, no, and that's just the reality. And you look at Canada, it's like, I mean, if Crosby's healthy, I guess you have that line back, but lines 2 and 4 need to get fixed. That's just the reality. Like McKinnon needs a horse to run with, and he's the guy in Chicago, unfortunately. Or it's the kid from Dallas. I don't know. There's just so many good Canadian hockey players that you could put on his wing as opposed to Samson Reinhart and fucking Sam Bennett. Also, shout out Tom Wilson. I thought he looked better than expected.
Like I probably wouldn't bring him.
This is the only time he would have ever made the team, but he had a role and he knew his role, and I think that could be said. That speaks volumes because I don't think a lot of those Canadian forwards knew their role. Like, what was Suzuki's role this tournament?
I thought he was supposed to be like the penalty kill, shutdown center. I mean, he had his moment against Czechia, but that's about it.
I don't know, but that's why it's going to be fun. Just because, a lot of like, if this is Finland, like this is all they got. Canada, they can literally roll back a whole new roster if they wanted to.
Yeah,
they're gonna be fine. Plus, Marchand's like 40.
Oh, I am. For all we talk about, I am not worried. Like they're gonna have a better team next time, and that whether that's because of guys aging out or getting rid of idiot general manager who's not gonna freak call the break out.
Yikes.
So I'm just sorting through the ages on the Canadian team right now. Crosby, if we're just talking 2028, he's probably
he's there. He's there in 28.
2030, and that's a different conversation. Brad Marchand, that's probably his last go. I want to say it's Drew Doughty's last go, but I don't know. It has to be, but I don't know if I can be 100%.
You got to put him down the old Yeller style. It's time. It's time. The same way fucking Keith got put down. The same way Brent Seabrook got put down. Join him in Valhalla.
And Pietrangelo too. Yeah. He's got to,
that one was worse because he was. Oh, no. Yeah. Future's grim for number.
Darcy Kemper's 35, but goaltending is goaltending. Like Canada might have 3 completely different goaltenders by 2028.
Yeah, I don't even know who the goalie that they're gonna choose is next time. Like it might be Benny. I guess Logan Thompson.
So the people that were like, "Oh, it should have started Logan Thompson," it literally would have not made a difference.
And that, and it was never going to happen. So don't even entertain it. And also, it didn't matter. Bennington got him to overtime. He did his job.
He did exactly. He wasn't heroic like he was last year, but he did his job. 1 goal in regulation. Your super team should be able to score more than 1 goal.
Exactly. It's pointing fingers at the wrong people right now. I can't believe I'm defending Jordan Bennington. This is so fucked.
Yeah.
Because that 5-hole was naked on the overtime winner. But, probably shouldn't have even been.
Don't play hero ball in overtime. Maybe score an extra goal.
Maybe don't go 1-on-3
you got. Yeah.
Also, anyone complaining about the 3-on-3 overtime, shut up. Just shut up.
Shut the fuck up, yeah.
We have been playing this for a decade now. We're not going to pretend like this is some foreign lawless land that we've never been across. What? I got to stay on my man and play a little passive? Holy shit. It's like they've never played Chell before. I'm so serious. They've never played Threes Eliminator
before.
They've never played Threes Eliminator. It's crazy to me.
And it shows.
It does. Oh my God, it does. Just play man to man. Holy shit. You ever watched fucking football? Just a hat on a hat. Let's go. But whatever. Let's just complain about 3-on-3. Because that's going to fix
that game was quite literally Threes Eliminator.
Literally. Just, okay, who's got the first 5-man rush? All right. And then I'm just going to go 1-on-3. All right. And then I'm just going to truculent someone to win the game.
And Money Puck, we actually won 4-2. We won 4-1.
We actually won 4-1. Actually, it was 4-0 because it was a -3 too.
Canadians got negative goals in the game.
Take that, Canada! Couldn't even score a goal in your own sport. Oh.
That's what you get for booing the anthem. You're not even good at anything now. We beat you at your own sport.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, I've seen too much of that the last couple days.
Holy shit! That's what you get for booing our anthem. Right now, your stars in State of the Union. Terrence and Phillip.
And he finds out he's a stapler.
What? Oh my god. Like I said,
Yeah, I was talking about
bizarre
Canadian
world.
players that are probably going to age out. I don't want to go through the whole team, but to like put it short, there's going to be some changes.
Changing of the guard, as they say.
But for good though.
Hell yeah. Gonna get Bedard, gonna get Johnston. I don't know if Scheifele's there, but
poor Scheifele, man. Like, I think that
this
might
Jen
be his last
Stamkos.
chance. Yeah, Giroux as well. I don't think he never.
Fuck, forgot about Giroux.
Yeah,
which is crazy because Giroux's had such a good career.
Which would piss me off, though. We've had to wait 12 years. Like, we got to... And I think that's what makes the gold medal for the U.S. so special. Like, Patrick Kane never got to play with the super team, and he was there. He was the guy who started
bullshit,
it
he
all.
probably should have been the extra this year, but that's a whole nother discussion. But I get why he wasn't. For legacy reasons. But, yeah, he never won. None of those guys ever won. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that team never won because, like, fuck Ryan Kessler. But, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of like Phil the Thrill, that team's pretty grim. Personality.
And 2010 was Ryan Miller. He almost willed them to a gold medal.
Yeah, him and Patrick Kane and Zach Parise. They were like the only players with a pulse on that team. I guess Paul Stastny too, but like, yeah, we went from having Paul Stastny as the 1 seed to Austin Matthews. Like, it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Chomping at the bit to see this. So definitely, you know, what's the saying? It's like distance makes the heart grow fonder or something, or like time makes the heart grow fonder or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
It's just, it was so nice to see best on best again. And the fact that we're going to get it every 2 years, at least for the next like 8, pretty nice. And shout out Colin Coward, because he never talks hockey, but he made such a good point on Monday when he was talking about Team USA and just the Olympics in general. These guys fought for this. No other sport are they going to fight the owners, the people who pay them, the NHL and the CBA to say, we want to go play best on best. We don't care that we're not getting paid. It's more than that. And I think this tournament showed that. I think it showed just how far the NHL has come in terms of talent in the last decade, at least internationally. Like, Italy almost beat Sweden in this tournament. Like, Switzerland easily could have bronzed. Slovakia should have bronzed. They just kind of cratered towards the end, but they were out of gas. But like, all these great stories, and none of this happens if the players don't ask for this. If Connor McDavid doesn't ask for this, if Sidney Crosby doesn't ask for this, if Austin Matthews doesn't ask for this, like, they didn't have to do this. And they did, because it means more. And it just shows just how bad these guys want best on best. And the play showed. I thought the play showed. Some of the best hockey you're ever going to see happened in the last 2 weeks. Like, I argue that US-Canada game is bell to bell some of the best hockey you could watch ever. Just in terms of the pace, in terms of the speed, in terms of the chances, in terms of the high-end talent, the moments, the ups, the downs. It's about as good of a hockey game as you're ever going to see. It encapsulates the game perfectly, in my opinion. The ups, the downs, the ice tilt, everything. And they fought for it. I think that means something. That means more than it's getting talked about. So good on the players. And tip of the cap to them because all of them had a phenomenal tournament that got to play. And, the injuries happen along the way. Crosby's out 4 to 6 weeks. Fiala's out the year. Rantanen's out a good bit. I know each one of them would do it again. And that just shows how much they care.
They would get injured all over again to go to the Olympics. Like, that's how much it means to these
1000%.
guys.
Tavares would have blown his knee out twice if it meant they were going to go back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Promise you. That's just how much this matters to them. This is how much it matters to or represent your country on the biggest stage. So, it's going to be like I told you last night, it's going to be pretty sobering the next couple of days watching the hockey, but it's going to make the heart grow fonder knowing that in 2 years we get to see it again. So
it's literally the Drewski clip where he's going home from work and sitting, shut up, get the
back to the wife and the kids.
Yeah.
So true, though.
Drewski.
There's a Drewski meme for everything.
There really is. Have you seen that? Have you seen the one where he's a pastor at the church?
Oh yes, and he's like coming down from the ceiling.
Yeah, he's like floating.
Yo, mega church is crazy. Oh man.
God couldn't bless her with a baby, so we blessed her with the word of the Lord. Something like that.
Oh my gosh.
But fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, going back to Team Canada. Anytime Canada loses at any level, it's like, oh, we would have a referendum. They didn't win gold, and it's a failure. Like, nah, you lost to a team on paper that was good for you, but you outplayed them. Just like bring back a younger, more deeper team for next time, and you probably win. Still gonna have your top dogs. Bring Connor Bedard next time. There's gonna be no debate about that. Like, he's gonna be a superstar. He's gonna get to play with celebrity. There's still gonna be McDavid, McKinnon at the top of their game. Crosby might be there. I hope he is. But again, like, we're talking about 2028. That's a nice thing. I don't have to go 4 years from now. This is all gonna be in 2 years. So, and then forwards like Wyatt Johnston, Dylan Guenther, maybe Adam Fantilli, and then Gavin McKenna. There's gonna be options for them. For me, it was always the defense. Cale Makar's gonna be there next time too. They could have used a Matthew Schaefer and Evan Bouchard and as far as I'm concerned, they could have used the Mackenzie Weegar, Jacob Chicker. Like, there's just so many other
Chicker's
names.
a big one. Yeah, he probably should have been there.
Again, like, can't get to the inside against the States. Could have used a guy who scores 20 goals from the blue line. Could use a guy whose nickname was literally Bushbaum and the best performing playoff defenseman in the NHL right now. But no, he can't play defense. And then you bring defensemen who can't play defense. But good thing, they can't create offense either. So yeah, I'm tired of the play it safe. Bring your best players that can create offense, because you just never know when Crosby's going to get injured. You don't know when Josh Morrissey is going to go down. I think you almost have to plan like that's going to happen. So, but yeah, like I'm not. It sucks. I wanted to win that game, but just move on. Build a better team. That's all I really got. And don't bring Doug Armstrong back. No more St. Louis Blues on Team Canada, please. I'm done with that.
Don't worry, Braden Shen's going to be there next time. Get excited.
Oh,
or now Rob Tom
and Dylan Holloway and Jake Neighbors, and like, we're gonna bring Logan May. No.
Barf.
Yeah. You want to talk about the rest of the tournament, because you brought up Finland, man. If they have Barkov, they at least beat Canada. They could have given the States a run for their money too. I'm not going to say they would have won gold, but they could have made it easily interesting as well. They're always in there, regardless of.
It's the first time ever they had a full team of NHL players, every single player, and it showed. They were, and they didn't get talked about enough in the Four Nations. Like, yeah, they don't have Barkov, but they didn't have Heiskanen in the Four Nations. They had him back, and that makes such a difference on that back end. To have a horse like that who could play 30 minutes and. Top six is about as good as you're going to see in a best on best sometimes, especially just the high end talent of a Rantanen and Aho and all these guys. Man, it would have been crazy to see both those guys play on the same team. But
Oh, like that'll happen
never.
or
Will
could
never
happen.
happen.
No,
Never happen. Certainly he didn't
no,
get traded to the Blackhawks to make it happen either. But
no.
no,
Really, they got more on
no.
the third round pick for retaining all of that or whatever
But
it was. I
they're
don't know.
But they're a perfect encapsulation of just like different eras of Finnish hockey. Like you have your Irakolas, but you also have your Anton Lundells. Like Capo Kakko has such a good tournament for Finland. And
Mhm.
maybe it's like he's got the Lucas Reichel syndrome where he's just better on the international stage than he is in the NHL. But like it's true. Like anytime this guy puts on his country's crest, he just goes crazy.
They
And
won
he was
gold in I think it was 2019. That was his draft year where they had no NHL players and they won the gold medal against Canada, who had a pretty stacked team. And I'm pretty sure Kevin Lankinen was the goalie too. Just wanted to bring that up. Finland always punches above their weight class, like regardless, like whether it's juniors or it's the World Championships or it's the
and
Olympics.
Finland
They
wants their coach
never
fired.
count them out. Wasn't even the worst Scandinavian coaches tournament or Nordic coach, whatever.
But yeah, speaking of disappointing teams, what the hell, Sweden? That
Oh,
was
Sweden was.
pitiful effort.
They were like, "What if we beat Canada and the U.S. at their own game?" Oh, politics and not hockey. Damn. Like, yeah. I mean, they got the tough end of the rough end of the stick, whatever the saying is, having to play the States in the quarterfinals. But I'm incredibly disappointed in Sweden, especially the goaltending, because I think they played Markstrom on back-to-back nights, and Gustafsson was not good. Like you didn't at least give Wallstedt a start. It just seems like a coach being like, I don't want to play a young goalie. And yeah, Philip Forsberg getting barely any playing time when he said that he thinks he's one of the
Jesper
best
Bratt,
forwards.
bro. He didn't play till the third
Yeah,
period in the U.S. game. Like, what the
crazy,
hell?
insane, and yeah, just like I don't know what else to say
Nylander and
for
Pedersen
Sweden.
phoning it in. Like, what the hell are we doing? And yeah, they didn't have Leo Carlson, but like, holy
They're
shit,
better than that.
guys.
They're better
You
than
have
that.
so much
I'm
talent on this
disappointed.
team. Like Lucas Raymond, pretty underwhelming in this tournament. Like Victor Hedman, it's so unfortunate. Body's giving out on him though. Dahlin, probably their best defenseman. Forsling too. But like, man, I don't even know what you do going back to the drawing board. Like they are getting younger. That's a positive. Carlson, you have Stenberg, Anton
Dude,
Frundell.
Frondell. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe not
they're gonna have
2028, but
some demons.
2030.
Yeah, they're gonna have some demons coming up. And Raymond's still like what 23. Like
Still
Nylander will be
very
there next
young.
time at like 34.
Hmm.
Like they're gonna still have players, but it's just you went from such a long time of Sweden having either the Sedins or Backstrom or someone of that nature who's just a high end offensive talent. And, for a while we thought it would be Pedersen. I don't know what Elias Pedersen is anymore. Just going to be frank. Like, completely different circumstances, but like his decline is akin to stuff that you see in other sports that usually is caused by not being on the field. But he's playing every game. It's shocking. Like his fall from grace is akin to Deshaun Watson on field, not off field, obviously. But going from being, arguably one of the best young talents in the sport at one point to being a half point a game player, basically, and being an afterthought on Team Sweden when that probably should be your team that you're grabbing by the
When you got to
horns.
be the guy, especially with Leo Carlson out, like you're getting surpassed by someone who is like what 5-6 years younger than you.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, you're the reason that Quinn Hughes is probably not there anymore, and JC Miller wasn't there anymore. Like, you're the sole reason that team got blown up in Vancouver. Your production was, at least. Everyone can call it like they see it. It's what it is. So, yeah, trade talks are going back up with Pedersen. Get excited. Still would take him on the Hawks just because they can
I
afford to
was
take a
just gonna
risk.
say, like,
No,
I take a
the Hawks
no
are a special
problem.
case. They can afford to take a risk on a contract
Yeah.
like that. If I'm a team like Carolina, I'm not taking that chance. I'm not. That's too much money. That's too much term. With a cap that's only so much room, or very few teams that could take that risk. And he's gonna have to play his way out of it. Like, I just don't see a world where he becomes that 100-point guy again. It just doesn't seem like it's in his game anymore. And I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's a physical thing, but it's kind of it's very sad to watch. He was one of the pre-COVID, I'd say, one of the best players in the Western Conference. Oh well, I didn't mean to turn this into bashing Elias Pettersson for 3 minutes, but yeah, I think he played a huge part in the way Sweden underperformed. But you're right, Phil Gustafsson, number one. That's terrible.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't that he was just bad. Like, he looked like he shouldn't have been there. Like, he just looks so out of place, so nervous. And I don't think that's a great way. It's great for your team when your goaltending like is letting in goals like that and seems to like have stage fright.
Yeah, and then you put Jacob Markstrom in because Ty goes to the veteran. So
yeah. And then they played him on
know.
back-to-back games, and it still almost worked out, but you couldn't get any offense going against the States.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a long couple years for Sweden. Like, I think they might be the team I'm most curious of how they look in 2028. You know, 2 more years under the belt of Carlson. Stenberg's going to be there. We'll see where they are, but it's not looking good right now.
I think their coach's name was Sam Hallam. I know they brought it up on the Daigle podcast. Like, yeah,
Anders Sorensen should have done a better job. SMH.
He was the assistant, right?
Yeah.
I think he was. Yeah. Fucking give Sorensen the head coach for Sweden in 2028. Speaking of things that might make Hawks fans' heads melt. Can you believe this? Sorensen, head coach of Sweden?
Terrible. Can't believe the woke NHL would allow this. The woke HL.
You know, the most left-leaning sport, what I say, ice hockey. And the stuff we talked about earlier on the podcast, like, no, you didn't hear that.
No.
Switzerland, that was a tough loss because they were up 2-0 on Finland, and then Finland came back and won late, and then Finland, like Canada did to Finland what Finland did to Switzerland. Slovakia, it was good for them to get back to the medal round again, but yeah, disappointing ending going out like that. Like, to me, if they could have at least made a close game against Finland in the bronze medal game, it might have been like felt better. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like Slovakia ran out of gas towards the end.
Oh, they definitely.
But you still got to be very optimistic about the future of that country, and hopefully they can produce some more high-end draft picks.
Of course, he made the All-Star Olympic team. Like, that's incredible. The guy's an Olympic hero in Slovakia.
He's already one of the best Olympic players in hockey history at like 22.
Beast. He's gonna be here for like 4 more Olympics. Get excited. At least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gonna be sick. And like, who knows what kind of confidence boost that's gonna get him going back to Montreal for a playoff push. Gotta be excited if you're Marty St. Louis to get some of these guys back.
I was looking at his stats the other day, and they're a lot better than what I thought. He's got 45 points in 57 games. Like, sorry, I've always been like skeptical of the Habs taking Slavkovsky first overall, but that's a decent season. 45 points, 57.
He's a good power forward.
Mm-hmm. And power forwards take longer to develop. So,
also, just keeping track of hungover U.S. NHL players. Tage Thompson has 2 points today. Just after all the shit that happened today, like, that's crazy.
Did you see the interview he did where he said, "This might be my only opportunity to go to the White House"? Like, I don't
love him dunking on his own team subconsciously. Like, that's so funny. Oh, what a great quote! Oh, fuck! Is this play about us?
Yeah.
It's okay. The Blackhawks will make you not make the playoffs either. Just come home. We already have to deal with bad
Um,
PR as is. We can deal with it. I really don't give a shit. Go win on the ice.
mm, other two, like we kind of talked about France and Italy. I remember when
Czechia
Canada
and
made.
Germany were a little disappointing. I will say that.
Yes, those were like, yeah, besides Sweden, Czechia and Germany were disappointing. But I think that just goes back to the point of they were both so top heavy. And then when you just face deep teams, they're gonna crush you.
I don't think I overestimated Germany. Outside of Cider, their back end's looking really bleak. So hopefully someone comes up in their system in the next couple of years that can solidify that back end a little more because outside of Cider, it's pretty grim and it's not good. I ain't talking Ben.
And then Latvia, even though they and then Denmark, even though they didn't go far, like Latvia, Albert Smits, that's a guy who's probably gonna go in the top 10 in the draft. And Denmark brought a few guys, but I don't know if they have any high end draft picks coming. But yeah, it was a great tournament. So many close games. Like every game Canada played in the medal rounds was like more intense than what 2010 was. That I think it's hilarious that Czechia had 6 players on the ice on that goal, and they had and then they had those players celebrating together. Obviously, had Canada lost that game again, like Canada would just blown up or whatever. But then looking back at that, they had won that game. They were able to come back and win a game. I think that was so funny how that like no one noticed that at all, including the refs. Like not even like anyone on Canadian bench, any of the coaches noticed it. Like no one just noticed it. I didn't notice it when I was watching it until like a few minutes later when people watched it back.
Yeah, I didn't notice either until I watched it back either.
And I don't know. Nothing's really else caught my eye. What were some like standouts for you at the Olympics? Standout games,
Standout games. I mean,
players, whatever. Yeah,
you got to go with if we're talking Matt Brady's at the top of that list. If we're talking players standing out in terms of just, it's probably like him, Slavkovsky. I really was impressed with in terms of the role he played. I thought Matt Boldy looked really good in these
Matt Boley was
Olympics,
awesome. Yeah, huge
and
goal.
he really knew his role. I was very impressed with Marty Necas this tournament for Czechia.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was their best player, which,
I thought he was better
going
than
into that,
Pasternak.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree 100%. And I would have never guessed that going into the tournament. And he put the team on his back multiple times, especially in that Switzerland game where they lost in overtime. Obviously for Switzerland, like I look at Roman Yossi, he had a great tournament on the back end. I think it just reminded a lot of the casuals that this is a guy that's a Norris Trophy winner. This is a guy that was at one point a top 5 defenseman in hockey. Like he's had such a storied career, and to be able to,
Roman Yossi, Hall
really
of Famer. Interesting
maybe
one.
not first
Got
ballot, but
He's got a Norris. He's got a case for sure.
yeah. How old is he now? Like 35? Like I'm thinking
Yeah,
like if Swiss
35.
medals bronze, like he might get it then. But maybe Nashville could be nice and go let him play for a contender. Maybe he can go win a Stanley Cup. That'd be nice. It's probably what they should do, but that's besides the point. Hell of a hockey player. Thought he had a great tournament, or at least someone that was stuck out to me. In terms of games, obviously the gold medal game, but that's obviously a given. I thought Czechia Canada was a fantastic game. I got to watch most of that one.
Oh, it was an awesome game.
Fantastic hockey game. Czechia played their best game of the tournament and gave Canada their all.
They
And
gave him all they could. Yeah,
Dostal played amazing in my opinion. And Canada, Marner gets the 1-on-3 backhand roof goal in
big
overtime.
time game player Mitch Marner. Big game player Mitch Marner. Like we.
If we're talking like endings, I guess U.S. Sweden because Zibanejad ties the game with like a minute left on the one timer, and it's like, fuck, you got to be kidding me right now.
Yeah.
And then Hughes on a 3.5 minute shift waves off the bench and just snipes one off the post for the
Okay,
win.
we're not losing this one, boys. Yeah.
Beast mode. Those are the ones that stuck out to me. Also, the Czechia, like I said earlier, the Czechia Switzerland game was amazing.
Yeah, that
Nations just
overtime
coming
game.
back to tie
Yeah.
that game. Goal gets called off. Like all the drama. Very good. Very good. What about you?
So I'm kind of just like going through the top players in point, like McDavid, 13 points in 6 games, and anyone calling Connor McDavid can't get it done in the big games. Like the only reason they were there in the first place was
Oh man,
because of Connor McDavid. Like he is so clearly like in a tier of his own, and it almost feels like the Ovechkin discussions before he won a cup. Like has all these awards, shows up, but can't win the big game, can't win the cup. He's gonna win a cup soon. He's too good not to. Like I think the thing
only a
within
matter of time.
sports, like especially being a troll, like I mean Stephen A. Smith made a whole career about it. Like you can't
Ah,
like the thing of the big player can't get it done. He sucks. Doesn't matter whatever else he won. I think that's just the thing with Connor McDavid. Like he's gonna win. Anyways, like Mark Spector asking him that question, it's like
Spec can
Gretzky
fuck
and
off.
Crosby.
Spec can fuck off. I'm so serious. What a clown. Oh my god. Like, there's so many better ways to word that question because, like, it is a valid question. The way he worded it was
Oh,
fucking
100%
asinine.
it is. Yeah.
It's an asinine way to word the question. But I think that was one of the reasons, like, at least going into the gold medal game, like, obviously I was like, very nervous. And I think I talked to you the night before, like, just the more going in, I was like, man, this is going to be a huge game. And clearly the US thought it too. But going in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, well, at least at the end of the day, either Matthews or McDavid is going to be a winner, and no one can take that from them. Like at the end of the day, one of them was going to put that shit to bed because I'm so sick of hearing that shit. I'm so sick of hearing that shit. And McDavid's going to get his. Like someone showed the stat, like he's won MVP as the losing team like 4 separate times in his career.
Like at every
Like
level, it was
junior,
like
ugh,
it was the OHL, it was the Stanley Cup
it's
playoffs, and then now
terrible.
the
Like
Olympics. Yeah.
there's the cuck chair, and then there's the executive McDavid cuck chair. It's really
Bro,
bad. Like
he's in
it's
the cuck bathtub. The cuck.
one at the window.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, no! But it's just like, and then you just got to hear the heat for another year, and and now he's got to go back to Edmonton, which is a team that hasn't won 3 straight all year. Like I think you and I talked about it. God bless Lucas still stall because McDavid's getting 5 points tonight. Like there's not a doubt in my mind this guy's not going to go berserk tonight. Same with Celebrini. I know both those guys are coming back to their teams with a vengeance, and good on them. And I think in another sense, like, I mean, we already know who we would probably name, but like, who had a tournament that you probably want to forget? Because the 2 names that come to my mind immediately are McKinnon and Matthew Tkachuk. In terms of like,
Yeah,
yeah, obviously,
McKinnon.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and like,
I put Devon Taves in there. Not great day for Avs players unless you're Kale McCarr.
yeah, and I look at, like Pedersen, like I said earlier. I'm gonna be honest, like probably looking at Draisaitl to an extent. He probably wishes he did a little more.
I
Like
also think they just like gassed him. They played him half the game and he had no
they,
help. Like I
well,
think
I
these
know when
guys
the U.S. played him, they just glued Matthews to him the whole game.
exactly.
So like,
Yeah, yeah.
have fun.
That's
You
all
got
you have
him
to
and
do.
Boldy bearing on you the whole fucking game with McAvoy too.
Mhm.
Like, have fun trying to get the puck. But in terms of like guys that were disappointing, I'd probably go that route. I honestly, Pasternak was a little disappointing too. Like, I really
Yeah,
like the
well,
fact
that
that
was the
Natchez
same
was that
thing.
much of a game.
Canada
Sorry.
completely shut Pasternak down. At least the 1st
Mhm.
game. Yeah.
And like, maybe it was just because Natchez played so well, but it's just like, man, you really expected some of these guys to be the guy that would take over the team for them, and like, like the way McDavid and Celebrini did for Canada. You know what I mean? Like the way Rantanen was for Finland to an extent.
Before he got injured. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see your best players carry. That's just the reality. So, thought that was a little disappointing. Like I know the points aren't going to say it, but I do think Eichel had a rather disappointing Olympics. But at the same time, he was on the top line. That's gonna happen. You're probably gonna get a tougher assignment, but also you're playing with both Kachucks. You're gonna have so much ice to skate with. Go do something with it.
I
And like,
saw this too. I think it's him and Neil Brun are the only two players to win a Hobie Baker Stanley Cup and gold medal.
yep. And
That's an insane like combination of awards.
yeah, there's some elite company that Jack Eichel joined in. Oh my god.
Dude, if you want an
Someone joked
example,
that he should have. Well, he should also be in rare company of winning a natty in college too. But his goalie fucking sold in 2015, so
I don't
he's
remember
never gonna
that.
have that. I do.
But if you want an example of this player can't win, like Jack Eichel couldn't even make the playoffs till he got out of Buffalo, and now he's won a cup and
Tage
now he's got a
Thompson's
gold
won
medal.
gold 4 fucking times before even being in a playoff game. Like,
Mhm.
I don't want to hear this Buffalo can't win shit. And also, just got back tonight and has two points, and they just won 2-1. Get excited, Leafs Nation. Yes, sir. And Jack Hughes got an assist in his game back, so get excited. But yeah, like there's so many narratives where it's just like, dude, this is not the case. Like Jack Eichel left, won. Tage Thompson gonna leave, will win. Rasmus Dahlin hopefully leaves, hopefully wins. I'm sorry, Jacob, but until I'm proven otherwise, get out.
Well, the Steelers are good this year, though. Like they're trying to make the playoffs. I hope they do. I hope they all stick together and they don't trade any
I
more
mean, they're
guys
in the
like
first wild
quantity.
card. They're in the first wild card with, yeah, okay. They're actually in a pretty good spot.
Yeah,
Hopefully my only concern is the goaltending because it seems like every month a different one steps up. So hopefully someone can take the reins in this last month of the season. But hey, man, if Tage is going to get 2 points a game, like you're going to go win. You're going to win more than you lose. So he's got
Florida
31
trading
goals and
Sergei
30
Bobrovsky
assists.
to Buffalo. There we want to get crazy.
Why? Like why?
I don't know.
Why are
I don't know.
why
I don't
are
know.
we
Just throwing
why
it
are
out
we
there.
shooting that into the ether? Like who's Florida going to get and turn into a superstar? Oh man, can't wait for Isaac Rosen to be Barkov's
I
long
was
lost
just gonna
winger.
say Isaac Rosen for
The
Sergei
chosen
Bobrovsky.
Rosen. No, they'll just find a way to weasel Coolidge off them.
Yeah, probably. But to wrap up the Olympics, some players I wanted to shout out. I'm kind of just looking at the top points. Joel Armia had 8 points in 6 games for Finland. Quinn Hughes, we know he had a great
Go.
tournament, but the only goal he scored was that overtime goal. And
And it's not
Timo
just the
Meier
points, though, it's the minutes. Like he played
in
like
the
27 minutes a
just the
game.
all around game.
Yeah.
I mean that's another guy that could have won MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Timo Meier had 7 points in 5 games, and yeah,
He was the
Nathan
power
McKinnon.
play demon these Olympics, bro. Anytime Switzerland had a power play, this guy was wide open in the crease. Every game I watched.
Nathan McKinnon, 7.6 games, had 4 goals. But yeah, everyone's gonna remember at the open end. And honestly, rightfully so. Like it's one thing Devon Taves, like Connor Hellebuck makes that save on Devon Taves, but you have a wide open net and it's Nathan McKinnon. You have to
A guy
score
who's
there.
buried probably 200 goals from that specific spot.
Yeah. Switzerland's goalie Leonardo Giannoni
Goat.
had
He's always a goat in international play.
147 goals against average, 946 save percentage, 2 shutouts. And low key, like UC Saros locked it in.
Yeah.
166 goals against average, 940 save percentage, 1 shutout, including a bronze medal.
Big tournament for UC Saros. He's had a couple rough years in Nashville. Good reputation builder for him.
Yep. Got anything else to talk about the Olympics?
Oh man, I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
So much fun. Can't wait for it in 4 more years. Hopefully it's not Bizarro World 3 days later afterwards. Just praying to God.
I hope we don't have to wait another 12 years. Like,
please. Oh my God.
That's almost half my life I had to wait for the Olympics. Like, that's crazy. I was 13.
Bro, I was a sophomore in high school the last time they
Yeah.
did this. Like, come on, man. Got to be better, Batman. And you know what's worse? When he leaves, it's just going to be Bill Daly as the commissioner.
No, it's George Peros. Get excited.
Get excited.
Also, I found it hilarious people who were expecting better reffing in the tournament. I'm like, are we for real? Reffing was exactly what I thought it was going to be on the level of the NHL.
Yeah, and apparently all the international countries were complaining about the refs, and it's like, guys, if you want the competition here, you're gonna have to get used to this. And the refs are always like this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I will say,
Um.
good on them for swallowing their whistles in the gold medal game to an extent, though, because if they wanted to make that a power play fest, they easily could have, and they chose not to. The penalties that were called were very obviously penalties.
Yeah, it should have been too many men, but like also you
Well,
should
yeah,
score.
that one's egregious,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I was watching that. I'm like, they're just not gonna call that. Okay.
yeah, there's not,
Oh,
and that's
okay.
I told you I was like, that's when I was like, all right, it's either puck over the glass or blood,
Yeah, and
and
that's
there was a lot of
usually what
blood.
happens. Yeah, in the playoffs. We
That's
want to talk
hockey.
about Brett Kulak going to the
Fuck
Colorado
no.
Avalanche and Sam Girard to the Pittsburgh Penguins at a second round pick, and
Fuck no.
Julian Gauthier to the Blues. I don't even know who he got traded for.
Matt Luff. Like I said, I have nothing to say about this. Sam Girard, interesting name getting moved. The fact that you're getting a second and him, good on Kyle Dubas, like good reclamation project.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Brett Kulak is defensive defenseman depth for the Avs, but like at the same time, like
Perfect
I
for
guess you're getting
him.
rid
Yeah.
of Girard's salary so you can go get a forward.
They
That'd be
need
my
to
only
make a move.
analysis.
They need to
Yeah,
make a big
go get
move.
Nelson, another winger. Because
Okay, go get Kadri
obviously
back.
they don't need Kadri. Please don't do this. Uh,
Dude, McKinnon, Nelson, Kadri.
that's dirty. It's a dirty three. And then they'll have Drury as a 4C. That's gross. And then who gives a shit about the Julian Gauthier trade? That's such a nothing trade. But
Yeah, I know. I was just putting that in there to be a troll. I always love to just bring
yeah,
up the
so
minor moves.
get ready for all the third pairing defenseman trades. Get ready for the Connor Murphy trade murmurs. Oh man, gonna be a sobering 12 days. Or when's the deadline? The 7th. So it's like, yeah, it's like 10 days.
9 days. Yeah.
Oh, single digits. Single
Yeah.
digits until the Kings trade for someone else who's going to blow their knee out. Curious to see how
Patrick
Panarin
Laine.
gets tonight against the Henderson Silver Knights. Should be good.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, the Oilers play the Ducks in like 40-ish minutes. Lightning are up 3-0 on the Leafs. LOL. Yeah, Nikita Kucherov's got a goal. He's been waiting patiently. Could have been on Team Canada. Wyatt
That's
Johnson's
healthy
got
too.
his 31st. Has got 2 goals against the Kraken. They're up 4-0. Yeah. Sabres beat the Devils, and then the Capitals beat the Flyers.
How about that?
How about that?
Welcome
How about
back, NHL. Oh my God. I just realized the Kings and the Golden Knights each have 14 overtime losses. This is the worst sport on earth. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's the worst sport. Oh my
Yeah, we have a
God.
division leader with more wins.
The
Or
Bettman point
more
can just
losses than wins.
go away.
And then the Penguins have 12 overtime losses in their second in the
Flirting versus
division.
harassment.
Terrible.
Empowering versus put a shirt on.
All right. Let's wrap this podcast up. Do you have any closing statements so we could wrap this up?
No. I think I'm good.
I think it'll take at least to get used to NHL hockey again, but I think it'll be fun. I think we'll see maybe a couple of decent trades, and then it'll be the playoffs, and then it'll be the draft. Sooner you know it, and then we pick Caleb Malhotra. Yay! And we get to talk about the Blackhawks next podcast too. Are we so excited about that?
All right, over under. Did the Blackhawks learn how to get a zone entry on the power play? I'm gonna go with no.
No. Tired. Connor Bedard on Team Canada wired. Tyler Bertuzzi would have scored on that 5-on-3.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Yo, high key, they probably should have just put Wilson on there and just throw him in front of the net and then just let McDavid go to work. Oh well. But blame John Cooper, please. Yes.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to give us a 5-star rating on your preferred podcast platform. If you're watching our faces on YouTube, be sure to smash that like button and hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on any new content. So for Pierce and Dylan, take it easy, and we will talk before the trade deadline. Peace out, y'all.